Hello everyone, this is Jack Manelli again with Manelli Studio Comics, and today I'm bringing you my second episode in my Jugwoodic Outsiders review series, Outsiders Volume 2, Sum of All Evil. Now sit back and relax and enjoy the show. This trade paperback collects issues 8 through 15 of Outsiders. That's pretty chunky for today's standards. It has 3 different story arcs in it. The first story arc is about the Outsiders fighting the evil Sabak. And you know Sabak from the Black Adam movie. I know everyone saw it, so everyone should be aware of who he is. But actually, this Sabak is a little different. He steals the powers from the original Sabak. This new Sabak is a high-level Russian gangster, so that's pretty fun, right? And the Outsiders are teamed up with Huntress, who is going to take Arsenal's place because he's still recovering from the last gunshot wounds. And also Black Lightning, Thunder's father, teams up with them. And actually, something kind of cool, Captain Marvel Jr. appears to fight Sabak. And according to this book, Sabak is more his villain than anybody. So I didn't know that, so I thought that was pretty cool. And the beginning of the story was kind of dark. It's this Russian mafia guy doing all these terrible rituals, which includes burning a bus full of innocent civilians, and that's kind of messed up. Jugwoodic does this thing where you're following this woman and you're learning her life story and all her trials and tribulations and all her goals and dreams, and then he goes, that all stops because she's about to die. And it's really tough. It's really heartbreaking. And the Outsiders do fight Sabak, but really Captain Marvel Jr. takes center stage fighting him. They are mostly fighting his minions and then these demons coming through a portal. And really they don't defeat him. No one defeats Sabak. He is too powerful. You know, he burns Grace's face off and we learn she's got healing ability. But Sabak doesn't finish this ritual that he's supposed to do, and he gets sucked back into the portal with the other demons. So I don't know if he's going to come back. But the story ends with Black Lightning trying to convince his daughter one last time to stop being a superhero. But to his surprise, she's more determined than ever because she saw how cool her father is. And Black Lightning was actually pretty cool in this, not going to lie. And this story ends with Black Lightning getting fired from his White House job by President Pete Ross because this is post Public Enemies. Lex Luthor is not president anymore, and we learned this thing where Black Lightning killed this guy who killed one of his family members. I'm not quite sure where that came from, but it was pretty tough for Black Lightning, and I feel bad for him. The next issue was it was definitely my favorite out of the whole bunch. It's a Roy Harper focus issue showing his trauma of his gunshot wounds. I just think it's some of Winnick's best writing and directing in the whole series so far. It's opened up with him, Roy, punching the punching bag, and each time he punches, he sees a glimpse of him getting shot, him in the hospital, him under surgery. It was great directing, ending with him looking in a mirror and seeing all his wounds on his chest. He freaking looks like Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star. So that was pretty awesome. And the rest of the issue is just following him in that day, him seeing his daughter, him going to see Grace, him trying to stop a crime, and he sees that criminals have a gun and he has like a panic attack. And luckily, the police stopped the bad guy before they did their wrongdoing. And then you see him in a training, and he's perfectly fine. And Dick Grayson tries to spar with him, and he pulls a gun out of him at Roy, and it sends a shock to Roy. And Dick is just, telling him he's there for him, and he wants Roy to be safe. And Roy promises that he'll be safe. And it was a really great issue. I think if you want to read any issue from this whole 2 volumes, that's the one you read. And the next story arc is 4. It's the Outsiders kind of dealing with the ending of Volume 1, which all the criminals broke out of the slab. So there's a new super prison on Alcatraz, and the outsiders are looking it over, and they notice something weird with Mammoth and Jinx. They're actually robots. It looks like they've teamed up with Dr. Savannah, which is the guy who owns Savannah Industry, is the reason why the Joker went after Lex Luthor in the first volume, in the first story. And Dr. Savannah he's made a new Fearsome Five, and that is Mammoth, Gizmo, Shimmer, who he's bringing back from life, and he's Mammoth's sister, Jinx, and Simon. Simon is from the last story arc. He broke out of the slab. You probably all remember Mammoth, Gizmo, and Jinx from the Teen Titans TV show. Dr. Savannah's plan is kind of simple. Do all these attacks in Lex Luthor's company, LexCorp, which he's not really a part of anymore. But then the team kind of gets bored and they want to do some more evil stuff because, that's what evil people do, right? So the Fearsome Five tries to leave, and Dr. Savannah kills Gizmo, saying, if you ever come after me, you're going to die. And they're like, fine. And they steal a bunch of nukes, and the outsiders stop them, but 3 of them gets away. Mammoth gets captured, and the story ends with a kiss between Indigo and Metamorpho, because Metamorpho stopped the nuclear explosion. So overall, I think the stories are good. Dr. Savannah has gotten away. We don't know what's going to happen. He owns an island right now. I hope he comes back. The character stuff, Dick Grayson is still acting emotionless to his team, and a bunch of his teammates have called him out. And it's very nice. Dick Grayson's not good at being the Batman of a team. He needs to care, and that's how he leads. And him being this angry person, this spiteful, don't care for you personality person, that's not Dick Grayson. And everyone's seeing it. Huntress is seeing it, Jade's seeing it, Roy sees it, everybody. And I just really hope that Dick sees it. And on that note, I've read a lot of the mid-90s Bat books, and in there the Bat family does not like Huntress. So it's kind of odd to me to read this book that came out in 2003, 2004, that the Bat family still does not like Huntress, even though she is a part of Birds of Prey, which is Oracle's team. So I don't know. That's kind of weird to me. I like Metamorpho. He's keep going on a new arc. I should not call him that. His new name is Shift. Again, he's a legacy character to the original Metamorpho. He's a legacy character from the original Metamorpho, and his name's Shift, and he can control his whole body for elements. Like if he wants to turn into chocolate, chocolate's around, he can turn into chocolate. Lava. He can control his whole body, unlike the original. Like I already stated, Roy goes through a pretty nice character arc through this whole book. We still don't know the mystery man that is giving him the jobs. Indigo is just showing more and more personality. She's at this point where she can kiss Shift in public, and that's pretty nice for her. Thunder and Grace, they kind of take a huge back burner on this volume. They don't really do a whole lot. Again, Grace gets beat up by Sabak really badly, and she recovers, and that's a pretty good moment when she's fighting back, helping Captain Marvel Jr. But Thunder really doesn't do a whole lot, especially towards the end. The beginning, when she's working with her father, was nice to see that dynamic. And I would say Jade gets hurt the most out of all of them. I know she wasn't that big in the first one, but man, she gets beat up, injured. She's got a black eye at one point. She is not that powerful in this book, and I really think they're just playing her down a lot. I think she's a much stronger character. If you're just talking physically, she's a much stronger character than they're letting on. All in all, I gotta say this was a pretty fun story. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's really good comic booking. I think Winnick is on a roll with this Volume 1 and Volume 2. I can't wait to read Volume 3. I gotta say one more thing about the story. It's super early 2000s. especially with the edginess. Like I said, there's the burning of innocent people. Grace is talking about orgies. Everyone's talking about sex. Like, it's super early 2000s. Comics are not for kids anymore. Comics don't write like that anymore, Like, today we're like, either comics are so adult that makes them sophisticated, or comics are for everyone, makes them, all ages and kiddie. This is like, no, comics are for like teenagers, mostly boys, who likes action and girls and Michael Bay films. And there's no problem with that, Like, I like those things, and I think Winnick kind of has a good balance of everything. With that being said, I would definitely recommend Outsiders Volume 2, Sum of All Evil. If you missed the first episode of this series, please click the link right here. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more content. Comment down below if you have read this before, and like this video if you're inclined. Until next time, this has been Jack Minnelli from Minnelli Comic Studios signing off.